Hello, and welcome to episode 32 of the Tech Team Podcast, where Black excellence and tech meet. It's your girl, Janita.
C. Jones.
Ricks.
And we are back at it.
We are.
Yes, please say your bit.
Don't forget.
Let me not cut you off.
To subscribe. I don't even care about liking and sharing at this point.
But we like
Just subscribe.
those too.
Yeah, we do. We do. Subscribe, like, share.
Across
please.
all platforms.
All the platforms.
Yeah.
Like,
All
follow us on
platforms.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Follow us on
yeah.
TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube.
Yes,
And we
all
love
of the
y'all.
things. Well, we made it, guys, to the Week of Love and the Week of Charles.
The Week of
Ooh,
Charles.
The Week of Charles. The Book of
Look
Charles.
at that.
Charles.
We're starting
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole new chapter for our guy.
40 years, man.
Man.
See, you put my business out
You
there
did
like
last
that.
episode.
I was
Okay.
You sure
okay.
did.
You-
Okay.
That's
all.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what's to come, man, this year, next year, and the next 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah, man.
So they create a peel out there. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Listen, we got to shout out our guy here, one of the trio. We've now officially had all of our birthdays on this pod this
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, any major things that you're looking forward to in 40? I know we've had a whole lot of New Year talks and all that stuff. So, and you shared a lot, but is there anything that's like top of mind for you as you're entering into?
Yeah, it's still the abundance piece for me. I front loaded this year heavy, planning just different events, different trips, and I'm looking at a lot of big investments this year, and I'll get into one later. Otis knows where I was in LA for last weekend a couple weeks ago. So
Oh, yeah.
making some investments outside of just real estate and just personal, let's say, family heirlooms, things like that. So I'm excited about that piece. So yeah,
Generational.
I got my son in the studio with us today. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Josiah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Josiah.
so I don't want to say it quite yet, but we'll get into it though
Yeah.
in future weeks. Yeah.
I
Okay.
love that. I love it. Well, not really on that same lane. So we're just getting to what we're talking about today. But
I got my Black Tech History moment.
oh yes, that's right. It's Black History
is Black
Month
History
still.
Month.
We're still in
We
Black
still
History
need to
Month.
off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The way
You're
that this
good.
month has started out, these first 10 days.
Yeah.
have-
Busy.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I texted her this morning. She's like, oh, shit, we're recording. I've been all over the place. So, yeah, I get it.
Yes.
February's been a lot already. But for our Black and Tech History moment, person we want to call out, Dr. Jesse Russell. He's known as the father of 2G. And so he is responsible for creating the patent that developed all the 2G technology in the old cell phones, like the Nokias and all the old, first phones we've ever had. In text messaging, he's the person who invented the technology
Wow.
to enable us to text, to call, to have
Wow.
cell phones, essentially. So shout out Dr. Jesse Russell.
Yeah.
We love you. We appreciate you. We wouldn't have these devices working without his mind and what he thought
Yeah.
of in his patents that he created.
Big
So,
ups, yeah.
yeah.
Love that.
Big
That
ups.
patent is really key.
Get your,
Yeah,
patent
get
your
your patent.
ideas. Patent your
Yeah,
ideas.
just put them
Patent
out there,
all
get
of
them
them.
patented first,
Yeah.
and check and see if somebody else has done it already. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yep.
and especially, I don't know why this is on my heart, but with our climate right now, I just have to also say, remind people, if you ever run into ignorant people who seem to not understand the value of Black people. I saw this great clip that they have going around of the old 90s talk show, Jenny or Jen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, it's this clip about basically somebody on the show was racist. And she was like,
Oh,
so if
yeah.
you don't like Black people, let me tell you all the things that you should stop using so you can really deepen your racism. And so we can now add phones
Yep.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to know also watching the Super Bowl halftime started because of a Black person. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
Yes.
it started because of the Wayans family.
yep, the Wayans family.
They live in color.
Because
What?
they
Yeah.
so before the Wayans family did it, basically,
Yeah.
they ended up having just trash halftime shows. And
Mhm.
so they ended up having basically their own halftime show
Yeah.
Mhm.
on In Living Color
Yep.
while it was playing in the Super Bowl. And so many people ended up watching that instead of the halftime of the Super Bowl, that then the NFL invited them to do the halftime show the next year.
Okay.
And after they did it, then they started prioritizing because they realized how many people would watch
Wow.
entertainment. So then the following year was Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yep.
What?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yo, I did
And
not
that's
know
why they have the
this.
Super Bowl shows.
And that's why the Super Bowl
So,
shows
yeah.
are the way they are.
So,
And that is also why Bad Bunny should have been out there this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So just, I don't know. You know, this climate right now is crazy.
Yeah.
And
It is.
as much as I don't want to always have to say things, because I'm tired. We've been talking as
Yeah.
Black people for a
sure.
long
So,
time.
yeah, it's a lot of teaching and
But-
learning out there. Is go pick up a book, go Google it, go chat GPT it.
Listen,
I'm not telling you what to go learn about Black kids.
everything.
We're going to tell you, but
Yeah.
go find them for yourself, too.
Oh, to that point, I saw a funny meme, kind of what you said. They said if we desegregate again, then white people can't use our inventions.
Right.
So
They
that's
can't
like-
use our stuff.
Yeah, you can't
Do you
use
know
our
how
stuff.
boring
If
your
you don't
lives
love
would
us,
be?
don't use our
Oh my
stuff.
God.
Yeah, so yeah,
Listen.
we're responsible for a lot
Yeah.
of inventions.
A whole lot.
Yeah,
Whole
yep.
lot. We're a great addition to this life. What else
Yes.
is a great addition to some people's lives?
Money.
Other jobs.
Extra income. Additional
Y'all like that
revenue
little
streams.
segue
Yeah,
there?
additional
Great
revenue
segue.
Great
streams.
segue. So yeah, what are we
Additional
talking
income.
about today?
You want to? Oh, I can do
Oh,
it.
you got it. Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead.
So today we're talking about a bit of the portfolio life. So something that we were talking about amongst ourselves as we were starting to, come up with additional concepts for our episodes was we actually got into a natural conversation about all the layoffs that have been happening because so many more companies are starting this year off with massive layoff numbers.
Yep.
And we were just talking about how nowadays between layoffs, the market, how everything is, you can't even necessarily look to one job to fulfill your needs. Like it used to be the conversation of like, oh, I may not love my job, so I have a side hustle for passion, where now we're talking about, no, I need to have multiple jobs to not only fulfill my dreams and passions, but also to pay my bills.
Pay them bills.
Yeah, so I think
Bills don't stop.
Yeah, so for me, for example, I have my 9 to 5, but I've said in other episodes before is my 9 to 5 pays my 5 to 9, right? So it's my dreams, my aspiration, but also too, it's meant for that 5 to 9 to pay for something else as well. So it goes into real estate, it goes to other investments. We started an investment group back in 2019, 2020, where we look at other companies to invest in them. So again, hoping that they, in this, this seed funding and this fundraising moments, but it's to get in early. We want to be like the early Uber investors, right? So at one point, $5,000 in Uber could have meant $5 million at some point, right? So investing early, seeing somebody has a patented idea, a utility, a need that people can strive for, and it just blows up. So that's where it's like you have to have several different opportunities and several different revenue streams to bring that income. So,
and we only invest in Black companies so far. We've only invested in Black-owned companies.
Oh, I mean that's so that's by proximity too.
Yeah.
So
but we'll call us out. We only
it
invest in Black companies.
It is. So it's
For now.
For now. It's like Black on Black is like invest on vest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that is true.
Yeah. To your point, right? 9 to 5, paying for my 5 to 9, like everything that I'm building outside of my career is paid for by my salary. And so it takes a lot of time and effort, but it also takes a lot of money. So especially if I'm building a whole app, right? So apps aren't cheap. Well, maybe with AI now they're cheaper, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm layoff proof, right? So I build my own company, I build my own product, my own app, my own service, and I own it. Nobody can fire me from that. Now, customers might not buy it and then they go out of business, but I can never get fired again.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like that has basically shifted, though, your identity? Or maybe the first question is, have you ever felt like your identity was wrapped up in your job, either before, during, with that? Because basically for me, right, I don't necessarily have side hustles. I just invest, make sure I do what's best with my money. But I ain't got time. I wish I did. Actually, I did just think of something that I might do now that I'm mastering AI for video.
Okay.
I have thought about doing some things, but we can talk about that off air.
Right.
Because those I will keep to the chest because I'll actually do those.
Right.
But anyway,
Right.
but what I found was before, though, realizing that you can be in a position to leave a job, right? Because for me, it was I left on my own accord, but it wasn't really something I wanted to have happen, right? And so after leaving, I realized how much of my identity was my job. That my brand was my position at this job and what I was able to do. And I don't think it was until I started entrepreneurship that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so much more than this. So there's so much more that I can focus on. So I'm curious, since you guys have kind of been more in that space.
Well, we started out again going from college straight into this these corporations where, again, I was a consultant. That's what I identified as so long. Like that was my only stream of revenue. So I'm looking at the stocks I invest in, but that's just, again, sleeping while you're making money type of situation. But it's very slow growth. It's, the market returns average, 10% a year over time. But it's more so again, like, what did I want to see myself as moving forward? And I looked at my parents, kind of having their jobs and their careers and being there for 20, 30 years. And I'm in my first job. I'm like, I'm out in 2 years. My first job was out in 3.5 years. And my current job, I've been here for, almost 8 years. But I don't see that still as my identity. It's still more so, again, am I a real estate investor? I do see myself as a serial investor at this point, and that's my identity. So I look for those opportunities. And again, to the earlier point, is my opportunities come from people that are around me. So because I am speaking about it and I'm talking about it, people know to bring those ideas to me, and we can vet them. Whether or not they're a good idea or not, it's like they may not be for me, it might be for somebody else, and I can pass you along. But I think more so along those lines, as far as that identity is, it's more the entrepreneurship and that real estate aspect. Now, look at those two realms as because historically that's what has proven to just work in building wealth. So yeah.
Or being an entrepreneur?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the billionaires,
working 9 to 5 does not make you richer. At all.
Most billionaires didn't go to college and aren't employees. Like they all started their own business.
Right.
Like if you look at the top 100 billionaires, they all started their own business, made it from that, not from going to school, going to college, and then becoming somebody's employee. So the path to wealth is usually entrepreneurship or some form of even the entrepreneurs make more than doctors, right? It's at the high of the food chain from a career side. But back to your point, I never felt my career job was my identity. I just felt it was a means to an end, right? I'll pay my bills. Because I always look at your job is what you do, right? But it's not who you are. So when you say like I'm a consultant, that's just who you are. That's what you do. That's not who you are, right? Like that was just what you were doing to earn a living, not Charles Jones the person.
I will say, but the person that was at work, and I've had these conversations with you guys over the years, and other people is like, even in relationships, I had women tell me, "Don't project manage me," because it was.
Okay, this is a valid point, right? Let's get into this because you are a project manager.
I used to be a project manager for a little bit, yes, but it makes sense to have tasks and
and have deadlines and expectations
and things just make sense, right? So it's doing things some way, being efficient. It wasn't being a project manager. I like to be efficient in things that I do. So I'm a certain way at work because I want to get things done, and sometimes I have set expectations on people in my life, personal, and at work, towards like they don't live up to my expectations just because of the way they work. Yeah. So again, I think that is a part of me because of how I work, though.
Okay, that's real.
I don't think that was me in high school or college.
I would say to change the terminology. Yeah, you weren't a consultant; you were a problem solver. Then problem solver.
Oh yeah.
So that's an identity versus saying I'm a consultant. I'm actually more of a problem solver. Because that's what you do in your normal day-to-day life outside of work.
Strategy, operations.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's running the household. And again, it's go back to the identity piece of it. And this is where my mentor, like I knew I was a jack of all trades early in my career. And it was one of those type of things where I was like, well, what do I do for that next role or that next position? And he mentioned around just having those transferable skills. You can learn a product or a service, but those transferable skills are what's going to get you to that next level. Everything's going to change. Again, we have the internet, now we got AI, things change, but it's like, what can you place around that to just evolve? And that's why it kind of stuck with.
I like that because when I was researching for this, I saw some quote, right, that said like titles expire, but skills compound. So as you change jobs, career, grow, develop over time, your skills continue to compound. You become a better project manager, you become a better time manager, you become a better leader. Over time, it continues to get better. But your title is going to always change and expire, they said, but they'll always change.
Yeah.
So it's not, your skills are tied to your identity more than the title of where you work and how you work.
So talking about skills, with not only having multiple jobs, you're also now likely having different skills, because even if you're doing the same job more or less for different companies, you have different people that you're dealing with, you might have different products that you're focusing on, whatever it may be. And so I'm curious, do you guys feel like you've had like an improvement in certain skills based on the things that you're doing in your 5 to 9 category, not necessarily your 9
Yes.
to 5?
Yeah. So for me, because it is figuring out on your own, right? For my 9 to 5, I always have somebody I can lean on or ask for help. For my 5 to 9, I'm the person. Like, we are the team. My co-founders,
Right.
we're the ones that got to figure out how to solve these problems
Right.
and figure out the problems that we aren't thinking about, the unknown unknowns and the known unknowns and all those. So trying to figure out what we got to do next, what we got to prepare for. Like, nobody gives me a roadmap. Like at work, they say, we got to do this task. We got this deadline. Do it before the deadline. We all good. In entrepreneurship, it ain't like that. It's you set the deadline. You set how amount of work you get done. You set how successful it is, honestly, by how much you put into it.
1,000%.
Yeah, I'll let you answer first.
Oh, yeah.
I do have an answer.
I always ask questions.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely. 1,000%. And I think that's actually the biggest thing for me with entrepreneurship is then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I got to set the goals.
Yeah.
And I have to execute on them. And I have to figure this stuff out. So most recently, because we're, working towards this US launch, it's like, okay, now I'm building the skills of what's strategy and breaking into a brand new market. And how does that look? And this is the amount of dollars I have to do it. And how do I make sure that I'm, deploying capital correctly so it doesn't hinder our cash flow? And it's just all these things that I never would have had to think about because even in the corporate world, and I did have strategies and things to go to, I had a finance team that would then tell me my budget because they got it from someone else. It would be these different things that maybe I didn't have to worry about where now I'm like, oh, I got to make the model?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yep.
I got to. So things definitely change.
It all falls on you at the end of the day.
That too.
And those soft skills, I think about those times working, early in the morning, getting up at 6 a.m. or staying up till 11 or 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. for another customer or for my corporations. Like, how can I not apply that? Well, why shouldn't I apply to my own endeavors? So back to you guys' points around certain things you don't know about, you have to go learn and study or go pay somebody else to do it. So I rather learn those new skills, but again, it translates back to what I'm doing from a corporate standpoint as well. So again, it's learning what a profit loss center is, know how to make money, know what revenue is, know what your expenses are. So it's learning all the different tactics. You can keep paying people and outsourcing things, or you can just sit up and do it yourself. So I think, again, going back to this relationship stuff, I get in trouble a lot of times too because around just being too busy. But it's like, well, are you going to do it? If not, shut up.
Right. And let it work.
We need to have a whole, maybe we should have had an episode about Black love and stuff on this week. Because I got a whole teaching that I can give on what it is to be with somebody who is busy and how that is actually a blessing.
That's a great
future topic. We are not
Mm-hmm.
children. We do not need somebody to pay attention to us 24/7. Get a life.
To your point, though, in my entrepreneurship experience right now, some skills I don't want to learn. So I do outsource. I don't want to learn how to build websites. I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. I don't want to build ads for my Instagram and my Facebook. I don't do social media, right? I outsource it. Fiverr. Shout out to Fiverr. Upwork, another one. But so sometimes those skills, to your point, you can learn it yourself and do it yourself, but then that also takes time away from doing something else. Or you can outsource it so that you can pay somebody to do it to free you up to do something you actually probably like doing or could do better.
It's something I can apply to my corporate job that's outside, then it's like I'm willing to pick that up. And it's funny enough, I'm really about to do something similar, like a podcast type series for my corporation now, for my whole entire company. I'm like, well, I do this already.
Yeah, I'm pro at this now.
Please, pick me.
So you gonna pick me now?
I'm screaming.
When I said it, I was like, don't do it, y'all. But it was too late. I was committed.
It's too long. It's already out.
But hey, I want to get that 5-star rating.
Yeah, let's go.
I will say too though is that's funny. I lost my train of thought.
Well, I got a
it was
question
too funny
because I didn't know what this was when we talked about the topics. What is portfolio life? I never heard of this in my life.
Well, it's the different things that's in your life that you do that keeps you busy, right? So you have your job.
Okay.
You have GTV, which is Grand Total Ventures. You have Tech Team.
Yep.
You have
face-to-face. Okay, then I got AC Stay Home, all the stuff I do in my life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
your portfolio is your brand too. That's nothing. Your portfolio is your brand.
1,000%.
So I think of people who sit on boards. I know you sit on a couple, and I sit on one. It might be giving back to the community. Like that's still aspects of your time as well, and not just. It can be revenue generating, but also too just be something you're happy.
Yeah, so it's all that. So all the different skills, the different income, all the stuff that your life is.
And gives you exposure.
Okay.
Let's say the
Okay.
portfolio life gives you exposure to other things and opportunities.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I definitely didn't know what that meant. And I'm sure some of our viewers ain't know what that was either. But so I know we've all pivoted into new roles in our career. I want to talk to you about it because you had the biggest pivot. You went from you went from a senior director, right, to being an entrepreneur to now being a CEO. So you actually went corporate entrepreneurship back to corporate.
And
I guess, I mean, I don't know. I never know what that.
And why we continue to give you your flowers, because even becoming a senior director is hard. People don't like senior directors. So, and I tell people, giving back to certain conferences, we're the 1% in tech in general, just black people. But then it's like to get to a senior director role, or even a director role, it's like it's very 0.001. And she went to that, to CEO, to you know, so
she left the senior director role first to be her own boss.
Right.
Like that's big. Yeah. So talk about pivoting into new roles.
Listen, I resonate so much with jack of all trades, and one of my favorite things was learning the rest of the slogan, because they're like jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And then it seems like it's bad, but it actually says better to be a master of many than one is the full riddle.
That is.
And so the reason why I'm starting with that is because I think when you decide to like open the box to saying I don't have to be one thing, and realizing that, to go back to what we were just talking about with skills and what you have, once you realize all these skills don't have to be put in just this one box, I can really use these skills for multiple things, or even things like this. We talk. Once a week we talk a lot outside of this, but like we talk. And even this is something that's conditioning all of us for future opportunities to speak. Like I got invited to actually speak for a women's empowerment thing in April.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of that, though, thank you.
Can we come?
Yeah, you can. Actually,
I would love to come.
I need to see if it's, oh my God. No, you can't come. Never mind. For those who are listening, you can infer why he wants to come. No. But basically, pivoting to me has been one of those things where it's like, I can do anything that's in my wheelhouse. And what I do know is I'm highly intelligent and I can learn.
For sure.
And I'm willing, kind of to what you said, where the corporate structure let me know, like, I'm willing to grind and figure things out for them.
Right.
I got to be able to do this for myself. So what pivoting has looked like to me is basically not limiting myself. Just to wrap this up, is like really understanding that there is no box.
Right.
I can do anything I want to do as long as I'm putting my max effort into it. I'm really hard pressed to think that there's not anything I can't figure out how to do. And I think that that's the biggest thing when you pivot, is not necessarily knowing what you're pivoting to or how it might look. 'Cause I know a lot of people, they'll be like, yeah, I want to try something new, but I don't even know where to start. I'm always like, just start.
Just start.
Like, just start.
Yeah.
Mine is a little different because I started out in one role and went to another company in that same role. But to go to my current company, they had me do something completely different, right? And it's like, well, we like what your background is, but we think you'd be a better fit for this. I'm like, okay, so a lot of times pivot is just opportunity. Pivot can be being prepared for something that you don't know what's even available to you. So it's having an option to pivot. And then just the courage to try something new. And it's worked out very well for me. So, but I had, again, a lot of long nights, so I want to make sure I didn't fail in this role. Because, again, it was an opportunity for me, but also just going to something, accelerating in that role. They then said, well, if he could do this, let's not try him over here. So now I'm getting access to different parts of the business, different access to leadership. But again, it all goes back to those jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Master of none, better at many than one. That's my first time saying that. Okay, so I got to keep that one in the tool house, on the toolbox. But so I pivoted based off of opportunity and preparedness and just trying new things. And it wasn't something I went after. They came for me.
Yeah.
So I won't say I was forced to pivot, but I was.
But it probably helped you too.
Yeah. And for me, pivoting in my career has just mean betting on myself, right? So 2 examples: when we were at the consulting firm, I thought I was up for promotion to senior manager. And then I decided I wanted to interview with our competitors to see if I could become a senior manager there and get more money, essentially. at the end of, I got the offers and I thought I was going to leave, but then they told the other company said I couldn't be a senior manager. I was going to be a manager. I was like, well, I'm about to get promoted. I might get promoted because it was a might. It was like, you're not guaranteed to get promoted where you are today. And so I was like torn because I was like, do I take a lesser role for more money and try to get promoted, or bet on myself with the company I've been with 8 years and then get the promotion? I ended up getting the promotion, thank God. But then the second example, when I wanted to leave that company and go to another company, again, make more money, get a better role, better position. And I figured, I've been in this company for 11 years. I want to be a partner. I want to stay here. I thought I was going to end my career here. And now I got a better opportunity that I can work from home. I make more money. Overall, everything is better. And I figured I would pivot. But I'm betting on myself because the role that I was in was straight cybersecurity, the one that I'm in now, and the one I was in before was consulting. So I was doing a lot of different things. So it took a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of reflection to understand if I was even ready to pivot. So that's another point to understand if you're even ready to pivot, because sometimes you're not ready to pivot. You know?
Yes.
I say take the lead. Take the lead.
Take the lead.
Take the lead.
Do it.
You can always go back to do what you're doing.
That's true.
You know, but you get exposure to something different though.
That's true.
So yeah.
That's fair.
Yep. So one of the other last time we were talking about the job stacking.
Oh yeah.
Because that's part of the portfolio life. Where I saw a guy, he had 11 jobs and made a 1.3 million in a year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm like, that's super job stacking. But like most of the time it's 1 or 2 jobs, two or three. Maybe,
yeah. So the finding with job stacking is I think what job stacking is where people are working multiple 9 to 5s. To me, that's job stacking.
Yes.
So you have literally just using the same time frame to do 2 different jobs. So people took advantage of that during COVID. A lot of companies are seeing that, and it's like, well, this person's work quality is going down, or they're not showing up here. Like, well, where are they at? You're at home, so it might be kids, it might be friends. I think there was a lot more empathy around people's availability because they were at home so much. But then it's like, well, a lot of that stuff continued because people were working remote. So I've seen people have 4, 5, 6 monitors set up at their houses.
Yeah.
And they're in some cases, if a buddy had 11 jobs for $1 million, that means he has 11 $100,000 jobs. I'm like, to me, that's not worth it.
It's not.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's too stressful.
Wait, what you mean? I don't know.
11 jobs?
$100,000 jobs? 11 9 to 5s?
But it had to be something that couldn't have been that crazy.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, at some point in time, something, so think about it, it could be 11 coding jobs.
Yeah.
And if it's that, from what when I did my little stint at Georgia Tech, I was like, so you telling me really all I got to do is go on Reddit and look up my questions, or go on these different platforms and like they just share code and it's like troubleshooting. So it could be something, not to minimize at all a coder's job, but it could be one of those things where like, it's well paid, or project management where it's like, if I'm just doing more projects at scale, if I have a good system, I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't, I think it's definitely something that's not desirable. I think from a management perspective, right? So again, if you're on my team and I know you have 2 jobs, I know you're going to be in between some different places. You're not going to have that focus and that I don't know, that clarity to get things done, in my opinion.
Well, for the business, yes, it's bad. I was talking about for the individual working the 11 jobs. Like, if you tell me for 1 year, well, I don't know if $1 million is enough for me to run myself to the ground.
It was 1.3, but yeah.
But I'm saying like nowadays, and it's by no means to shit on $1 million.
You can get one job and get a third of that, right?
That's true.
You know, most people, some people can get that.
Yeah. But still.
But he has to be very qualified, skillful. He has to be very efficient. Probably no life outside of that. I'm telling you, he's probably around the clock. It's some different scenarios.
Or he outsourced it to the Philippines and to somewhere else, and they doing the work for him and he's turning it in.
Waymo.
Yeah, exactly. The Waymo joint. When they got people driving in the Philippines, from the Philippines. Yeah. So
allegedly.
He probably outsourced the work to other people for $10 an hour, and that's the way. That's how I think you could do it the most efficient way, is outsourcing it. Yeah. So
and that's a lot of companies are doing that too, right? They're laying up and they're hiring in other countries, but they're paying pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
So the job stacking piece kind of ties into our last topic about layoffs, right? So I feel like somebody who's job stacking is taking a job away from somebody else who actually could be using that job who don't have one. Yeah. So I never job stacked just because I was just too scared to do it. I was scared my company was going to find out I get fired. I thought it would be more harm than good if I got caught.
Yeah.
So I never did it, but I always wanted to because some of our friends have, and I'm like, dang, they making bank, yo, like.
Yeah.
But
And
so
a lot of nights at Rocksteady were paid for by the second company. I can tell you that because you're like, they got 2 checks coming in on Friday, you know. So and then you making over 150, 200,000. Those checks are it's nice. It was nice.
So I don't think job stacking is going to be as big of a thing going forward due to all the layoffs that are happening. People are trying to find one job right now, not 2 or 3. So those days are probably over at this point for the most part.
Yeah, my advice there is continue to read, continue to skill up and different things, just try different things, and just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to learn something new. Everybody can't be a fitness coach. Everybody can't be a real estate agent.
Lord, stop being a real estate agent or a DJ. Those are my 2 right now that I'm like, y'all, we all can't do that.
Yeah, so I just feel like, we have to figure out ways to pivot, learn new things, and just continue to grow. And change is okay.
Yes.
Change is good.
It's very
Change is good.
Very good.
Sometimes.
Change is good all the time. All the time it's got to
You gonna say 100% of the time change is good?
Yep.
So you getting fired from a job will be good?
That's different.
That's strange.
That's extreme.
That's
you looked at like it could
literally a daily thing that's happening right now. Some people are getting fired right now.
For people abusing their jobs, yes, it could be good.
There could be, it don't have to be abuse.
It could be good though.
Actually, it could change for the company.
Could be. So you're right.
Yeah, it's a good change.
It could be bad too, because you said 100%. For the person who got laid off and they got no job no more.
Well, no, you said fired. Fired and laid off are 2 different things.
Either way, you ain't got no job.
I mean, but if you're laid off, it gives you an opportunity to look for something new.
If you find something new, y'all assuming they're gonna find people who've been looking for a job for years. We know people who look for a job for years.
Yeah.
That change ain't good for them. I don't care what you say. If you got laid off and couldn't find a job for a year, that won't good change for you or your family.
Are we going to be honest about the people who can't find their jobs?
Is that another topic?
Yeah, because
we got time.
We can't.
We don't have time.
We don't have time. We do have to wrap this up. But
all right, another day, another topic for another day.
Sometimes I'm like, really, 2 years?
Yeah, yeah. Did your skills compound during your career?
Or are you interviewing well?
Yeah.
Did you pass up the job that maybe you should have said yes to?
That's true.
I had a client who was looking for a job, got offered something for 110, and was like, yeah, but I need to make 175 or it's nothing. And I'm like, hey, from what you told me, you got about 3 more months.
Right.
You need to say yes.
Yeah.
So again, it's like there's another topic for another day. But sometimes I'm like, it is hard to find a job, and I'm not going to invalidate that or make that a non-statement. But I do think there are a lot of unfortunate realities that go along with that too. But as we kind of wrap this up, I do think it's important to say, like, layoffs, are more of a signal, not necessarily a personal failure. Making sure that, like, as you're looking to different things, and if you're a part of the layoff group, though, just make sure it has absolutely nothing to do with you. More times than not, and everything to do with business economics, 100% of the time. And I think the quicker you are able to at least process and work through that to make it not be a hindrance for you, the better off you'll be, because it is not a marker of personal failure. It is more than likely to a great opportunity to get you somewhere else that you actually need to be. For my faith-based, faith-driven people, I always look at whatever God closed the door for me on, or if he closed the door on me, it was meant to be closed. And I cannot question it, and I don't want to reopen it. Like, I need to find the next hallway, the next door, wherever he's saying I gotta go, I gotta go. So, and more times than not, you always end up figuring out why it was a great move for you, even if it's tough after. Like, even if it is, I haven't found a job for 2 years and things were tough, you're likely learning, building, and figuring out something in that time that you would have never come to the conclusion.
Yeah, I've been living by the mantra, rejection is redirection. So
yes.
That's what I live by now. Trying to get in my head, rejection's not so bad.
Not so bad.
What are our closing thoughts?
Mine is continue to bet on several things. Just don't bet all. How do you say?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, spreading things out. Yeah, go searching for it and just find out what you like and what you're interested in and what you believe in, and hopefully it works out for you.
What about you?
I feel like your career and your path needs room to evolve and breathe and pivot. So just make sure you are evolving, you are growing. If you have to pivot, you're ready because you've been preparing by growing and evolving and getting better. So just keep getting better, keep trying to grow, stay the course, trust the process. All the cliche.
All of them. They're all written down
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, to take us off a philosophical track, I realized that Charles is a pick-me. So it was a really good episode for me.
I think I'm talking.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go.
I got to talk to my manager every 2 weeks. Am I good? Am I good? Am I good?
And guess what happened? I got a 1. I got my 1. So,
Congratulations.
Hey, we lit.
So I like to get my bonuses.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Love y'all.
All right, y'all.
See y'all next week.
See you next week.
I like that.
Okay.